From Nevada to Mexico, from South America to Northern Africa, the top rung of off-road racing is viewed by thousands of enthusiastic fans. Racers come from every corner of the world to participate in these events in front of a world audience with media and television coverage. World-class off-road racing, excitement, action, and for the sponsor of a top-rated team, exposure to an enthusiastic public.
These races are very popular, and there's a lot of people that follow them. And it's a good way to promote products, new drinks that are out on the market, you know, depending on your marketing plans that companies might have or your strategy. Some of these races and trade shows would probably fall in a good category and would give companies great exposure.
San Felipe, on Mexico's Baja Peninsula. It is the home of a fishing community where tourism easily fits into a slowly paced small town. But this particular weekend is not an ordinary one in San Felipe. It is a racing weekend, with a major score off-road event being held. And moving in to see the dozens of racing teams go through tech inspection are thousands of spectators, writers, photographers, and television crews. Joining other top teams in the competition, the Sasio team, headed by Javier Sasio, will be competing in the Class 7S event against other high-profile teams.
Good luck. Have fun. Be careful. Thank you. Roger.
It is the day before the race is to begin, and Javier Sasio will go up into the air to take a look at the 250-mile course that he will be racing on. Inspection will take a few hours today, but it is well worth it when the race begins tomorrow.
The course looks pretty smooth from the plane.
How are you going to do tomorrow?
We're going to do real good.
What we'd like to do is get what I call the captains. All right?
Teaming up with Endatico Motorsports, the Sasio team will be supported by over a dozen support crew and vehicles over the 250-mile race course. But first, the team must be briefed and organized for the task to come.
Okay, get them up. You know, I mean, the bottom line of what we're trying to do this weekend is win this race. And the bottom line of what us, except for Dave and Mark and the co-riders and drivers are trying to do is win this race through our support. You all have your books. You see who you're riding with, basically. There are some changes on here. I believe that all of you know what those changes are, who it has affected. Okay.
The information must be gone over again and again if each team member is to fulfill his job. It will be a grueling race and impossible to compete without a sharply organized support team.
Then that's fine.
Into the night, details are discussed and possible scenarios are brought up. Each crew member will be an important part of the outcome of the race. Having to assume an almost flawless support system, Javier Sasio must begin to mentally prepare himself for the countless hours of racing which will begin at daylight tomorrow morning. It is race day and the Sasio team is preparing to begin the Tecate 250, a major score off-road event. It is today that the many details of preparation will make a difference between competing as a player in this high-profile 7S class or falling in defeat to the desert and the competition. At the starting line, over a dozen different classes will begin, competing within their own classes for the coveted winning positions in the race. Already miles out from the start is Javier Sasio and his number 726 Class 7S vehicle. Javier is off to a quick start with no apparent troubles as of yet. Now he must decide how much to push and how much he must conserve his vehicle over this tough desert course. Checkpoint 1. Each vehicle must come in here before they are to continue in this race. It has been a very difficult beginning, with many vehicles having mechanical problems. It will be the first time that support crews will be tested, with incredible pressure on them to get their vehicles back on the course as quickly as possible. Radio communications has indicated that the 726 truck is having problems. This will be the first trial by fire for the Sasio team, who will get themselves set for whatever may be needed to get their vehicle back on the course. It will take teamwork and all the pre-race training that the team has gone through to attend whatever problem may be awaiting them when Javier comes in. A quick analysis of the problem, and the Sasio support team has determined a suspension problem. It will now be up to them to change the rear suspension and get the vehicle back onto the course in the least amount of time possible. Javier knows that these problems are the norm in desert racing, but he also knows that with each second that passes, he is losing ground to the competition. A short time later, the truck is ready, and Javier is back in the race on a catch-up run. Their truck back in the race, the Sasio team strategizes its next move. As Javier makes up lost time, the team will race to keep up with him along the rough course. And with every passing mile, each team member wonders when their training will be called upon next. The next spectator area is a place where the course meets the highway. Dozens of enthusiasts line up to see their favorite teams jump as photographers and television crews catch all the action. As for the Sasio team, seeing their vehicle cross through this area will bring a sigh of relief as they realize that the suspension fix-up is holding up. They must not get too complacent, though. There are over 150 miles left to go on this tough and dangerous race course. As Javier continues his make-up race, the Sasio team rushes to the next stop, a pit in the most northern part of the course. It is the usual game of rushing and waiting until Javier finally comes in. The team inspects the truck and loads it up with gas. It is so far so good. The truck is holding up fine, and Javier is off again in a good position to head towards the first spot in this race. The second place 720 truck has broken down. It is a disappointing end to the race for this team, as they must make their way back to the starting line with a tow truck. Unlucky for the 720 team, this puts Javier in second place, close behind the new first place vehicle. As Javier races back to this pit stop before heading towards the finish line, the team prepares to change co-drivers.
Hi, my name's Tuffy. I'm Daniel, Javier's co-driver for the second part of this race. As it stands right now, we're in third place. Our second place competition that was ahead of us is broken down right now, so as soon as we pass him, we will be in second. We should be able to catch first place. We should be able to catch him and pass him and take first place. It's 3:15 now. He might not be back until 4, and we still have 2 hours running if we have no problem. So I think it would be a good idea to put the light bar on.
If he has any downtime,
Right.
That'll put him into dark, and so he definitely could use those extra lights.
Right. Then we have a real good chance of winning this race as it stands right now.
If nothing else breaks, that weld holds up, we're looking good. We're looking very good.
I'm going to go monitor Los Campeones radio because they get better frequency. Better clarity.
With Javier due in soon for the driver's change, the Sasio team prepares for the final assault on the desert towards the finish line. Details for night driving must be gone over, and the new co-driver must mentally prepare himself for the attempt to overcome the first-place driver. But as in life, racing can change all the best-laid plans.
That was Javier, the driver. When I heard him, he said he was at 161. You say he's got a torsion bar problem. Do you know the status on that?
Needs some torsion bar bolts. Over.
So where he's at? Did he say 158 or is it 161?
Well, when you go in, I don't know.
Let's check one here at 170 something.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's in here right here somewhere.
We got one.
Okay.
Here's 760.
It was after this.
It was after that?
I would say he's probably right about there before you make the left-hand turn.
So
it's well. I think I'm almost positive it's before the left-hand turn. So go in at this crossing here, and just go up the course.
He went in here. Tom's going in here right now.
He's gonna hit in front of him.
What can you tell me about what's going on? They seem to have had a problem, and we have a chase vehicle going out to meet them right now to see if we can help them out and get them going again. We are not clear. Bad communications. There's some mountains, some mountain range right in between it, so we don't know what the problem is, and we don't have direct communication. We're doing a relay, and we have a chase car about 3 miles out. Is going into the race course to see what we can do about it.
So it's just a waiting game.
At this point, that's exactly what it is, a waiting game.
As a chase truck races out to assess Javier's latest difficulties, all that the team can do is wait. It's Javier in the 726 truck. The chase vehicle got him here, but the team must race to determine his problems and get him back onto the course for the final leg of the race.
Bigger. 13/16.
We got be careful. Broke one leaf spring, broke the other leaf spring, broke the torsion bar bolt, came up through the floor.
Are you okay?
This has been a rough day.
No, it just needs to go under here.
Looks like burn a hole. Looks like burn a hole in the plate. Yeah, you need to burn a hole in this thing.
We can cut that off. I don't know. That's all. That cable's awful frayed. I don't think you can get it.
A little U-bolt or something, or.
Hours and hours and countless miles of tough race course, and it all comes down to another race. A race to patch the truck back together for the final leg of the race. As the tired crew works to get the truck running, all that Javier can think about is the effort expended so far and the possibility of it all ending here, far from the finish line. With missing parts and sheer will, the team manages to patch Javier together. And he is off, determined to finish this race before the time limit set by the score officials. The final part of this race can be the most dangerous. It is the part that happens at night. Tired eyes and the countless miles of a bumping race course can be the end of all but the most determined of drivers. A long, tough day, and it is here that the few drivers lucky and skillful enough to still be in this race will cross the finish line. And as the few come in from the desert, all that the Sasio crew can do is wait and hope that their and Javier's efforts will pay off with a finish of this race. Hours and hours of strategizing, racing, repairing, agonizing, and it all ends here as Javier Sasio, driving the number 726 truck, successfully crosses the finish line in the Ducati 250.
It's been a great day. A lot of work, a lot of parts went down, but we managed to fix them. A great day. Very happy with the third. We would have taken first, but we'll take the third. All in all, a good day.
It's all about making it right here to the finish. It was very hard, but thanks to my crew, Andy, and everybody did a great job getting this truck back in shape and getting it home. It was a very long day, and well, here we are.